guys, Jimmy here and welcome to Berlin. Fine. Right.
Wait one sec, we got a cleaner behind you.
So look, basically guys, we're trying to do an intro right now and there was no one here a minute ago and now everyone's just like, oh, Formula E car.
No, they spotted you, Jimmy.
I don't think so. So I'm here at the Berlin E-Prix as a guest of the guys over at Virtually Live. So probably best to get this out of the way now. This is a sponsored video. I'm here to check out Virtually Live's new game on mobile, Ghost Racing. Essentially the game uses real-time telemetry from the cars going around the track during a race, puts that into your phone and then allows you to race against the drivers in real time. If that sounds good to you, there'll be a link to the game in the description below. It's free, if you fancy checking out, then nothing to lose. All right, now I'm standing in line to go out for apparently a VIP experience in a BMW, I think an i8, I think it is. I didn't actually know this was happening today. It just kind of got sprung upon us, so we haven't really got any equipment for it. So it's going to be phone camera in the car, I think. It's going to look rad, don't worry about it. Okay, right, so the upside is that because I have one of these, I get to go in the safety car, which is actually an open top i8. Downside is I have to wear a full face helmet, and because there are only a few available, this is the medium. And as you guys know, I've got the biggest head in sim racing. This is really going to be quite uncomfortable. Bloody 8 balaclavas.
You look good in it.
They're like out of like Metal Gear Solid or something, you know, like the bad guys, the genome soldiers. Oh God! I can't tell you how tight this is. Yes, please. Could you help me with this? So right now, I don't know if you can even hear me, but right now, because this is, I mean, you can see my cheeks up here. You can see like how pressed I am in this, like a little hamster with food in his mouth or something. Thing stops all right, I'll tell you that, Jesus. Not the fastest in a straight line, but it's so quick through the corners. A lot of fun. Right, so right now we've been kind of herded into this little area. And I think we're going to get to go for a grid walk. We have these little stickers here on our lanyards to say we're allowed to go and have a look at the cars. So that's cool. I mean, a lot of this stuff I wasn't really aware of when I came over here. It was just kind of just sprung upon me. I thought we were going to be just sitting in the grandstand, but literally, Formula E car going, they're fast, man. They're quicker than you think they are. This is going to be fairly surreal, I think, getting to go onto the grid. I have seen a couple of these cars in person, but only like models, ones that aren't really live. So I'd be interested to see like what they do before the race to these cars. I'm not sure they're allowed to warm their tires or anything like that. I guess we'll find out. That'll do. So we just had the Michelin man do a dab. Well, kind of, but yeah, good. That's what we came here for. As you head out onto the grid now, here's the pit exit. You can see the lights just here to the right. And yeah, here we are, pretty much out on track. This is kind of a bit surreal. Didn't really think I'd be doing this when I was coming here. I thought it was just to go sit in the stands kind of jobby with this, but obviously not. And now everyone's taking selfies. Maybe we should take selfies too. Is that a thing you people do in the grid? You see all my See all my subscribers have come out to see me. So on this very packed grid, I think it'd be a good chance to maybe speak about Formula E a bit, I guess. I think, admittedly, when Formula E started a few years ago now, I wasn't really the biggest fan of it. It was a bit clumsy, it was something trying to find its feet, especially with having the 2 cars per racing. I really disliked that, but now you can kind of just see over here, you know, cars look a lot nicer, they actually last a race, they're quicker. And the racing seems to be getting just better and better as time goes on. I mean, if you watch the last race, then, well, yeah, Monaco was a fantastic watch. So essentially, I think that one of the things that makes Formula E so interesting to watch from a spectator point of view is they're all on road tyres, essentially. So the cars slide around, there's a lot of movement, they aren't planted to the ground like other Formula series. And it also means that a good driver can really make up time on late braking and just knowing the tyre a bit better. Here's the apt Audi car. This is the, what did I say, apt, this is a Degrassi. Can't help but root for Audi given my affiliation with the R18, but you know, just seeing all these little details of the cockpit, seeing all the buttons individually and what they do, and that's a real racing nerd shit right there. Look at the diffuser in that thing. Pretty much the only aero element on that car, the rest is ready for show. That's it.
Very much so, yeah. If we weren't told that if we needed 642.075, but I can change it to something more
So this is a weird turn of events. Despite literally having tickets to get onto this grandstand, they're not allowing us on because I'm missing some sort of green wristband that no one's told anybody about. So despite the fact that you know, I've got the grid walk pass and whatever, I'm not allowed to go watch the actual race, which is kind of defeats the purpose of being here, really. So we've just essentially missed half the race. Reason being is we didn't have a wristband, and then suddenly, as you can hear, we're missing more stuff. And we've missed half of it. Fantastic. 11. I think our seats have been taken already.
Die Autos mit diesen
So race over then, and I guess one of my thoughts, my first ever Formula E race, my first race I've actually attended this year. I think the first thing I'll say is that it's really hard to follow a race properly when you're actually at the event, especially when the PA is in German. My German isn't too hot, unfortunately. Of course, matters won't help with the fact we weren't allowed into the grandstand for half the race. But for the most part, it's kind of hard to know what's going on past the little piece of track that you're watching. In terms of watching the cars go around, to be honest, they looked really fast when you watch them go around. They look quick, they look hard to drive. But as always, there's just that, I'm an old school racing enthusiast. The racing was fantastic, but you always think, what if they sounded? What if there's a bit more sound to it? And I think maybe in the future we'll see something change there in some instance. But it is lacking, and I think that it will be dishonest not to talk about it. So behind me right now are people who are far more interesting than I am. Basically, we have all the drivers doing their media interviews, etc., and speaking to people about the race. The weirdest thing is how short they all are. Makes me think I've got a chance as a racing driver. I mean, I'm 5'8", and I feel like I'm taller than some of these guys. I'm not a tall man. So here is the virtually live booth here for ghost racing. Loads of iPads just hanging around for people to play with. We actually came here during the race just to try and do the ghost racing, try and have a race of the drivers on track. But unfortunately, there are so many people here, so much data being used that you just couldn't use it. It wasn't possible. So I think maybe if you're going to try this, if you're going to try racing the guys during a race, do it on your own Wi-Fi. So even though we missed the actual live race, we can actually do it now if you're wanting to. You can see here it's got watch your race, which I assume means we can just jump in now to that race and just do it again and basically drive against the real life guys with their data. Guess we should give it a go, shouldn't we? Okay, so we're starting, I guess, kind of at the back here. Oh no, I'm in reverse straight away. So back of the grid, good start for me. And we were sitting just back there. Send it around the outside. There you go. So I seem a little bit quick compared to the other guys, but this is essentially the data that they have on track. So it's kind of an odd concept because you're with them and you can race them and you can draft them and whatever. But of course their data is essentially fixed. Oh my word, I nearly died there. Their data is essentially fixed, so you're racing around what I assume is just fixed cars on track. Still a really cool concept though. I've got to say, I much prefer it when you can have the buttons on screen, so you can push left and right, because tilting this thing is pretty tricky. So if you had 45 minutes of time to spend and you think, you know what, how would I do in a Formula E race? Here's your answer to it. Well, I'd say maybe a tad on the easy side at the moment, because I'm already up to 5th position. Okay, I actually want to get into the lead before I drop this off. Send it up the inside, or just crash into the back of them. There you go. Mobile racing tactics, ladies and gentlemen. There you go, last the first challenge. It took us 3 minutes, but we're now leading. So I think maybe, if anything, this could be a bit more tricky, because I can now run away with this easily. So yeah, that's the app, and as you can see, I'm the most talented Formula E driver in the field by a long way. I think it's a game that definitely would work better with a steering wheel on a PC format, because that's the kind of audience I think that would enjoy it most. But still very enjoyable, and if you want to try it out, as I said at the start of the video, there's a link below in the description. It's free, so if you don't like it, nothing to lose. Well, that's the day done, I guess, here at Berlin. Well, we're currently sitting in the hospitality suite after having some ice cream. Well, trying to have some ice cream, anyway. I mean, from a personal standpoint, that's kind of been how the day's played out for me. It's been a cool event, and it's been really cool being here, but it just seemed to have been lots of little tiny things, little teething problems with what we were doing today and with the racing itself, that it was, you bastard. You absolute bastard.
Oopsie.
See, add that in. Add that shit in there.
Take two.
Take two.
Am I in the shot or not? I don't know whether to look or not. Like,
I'm sorry.
Okay, I don't think you're in the shot, but
You're not at this point.
Okay.
You're not at this point.
maybe
You're okay.
I can bring him in. Like.
okay. Hello. Shed boy meets Aussie.
Can I wear the hat and you wear the glasses?
Let's do it. It's a bit sweaty.
That's okay. I was
yeah,
going to sell that on eBay. I've got a massive head and the rest of my head. There
What
you
the
go.
hell?
I just like tinted.
Oh, I thought these were actual glasses.
No. I'm like, right now my eyes hurt a lot. So I have
It's
to,
really bright in here. I need my
yeah.
Okay. Since we're on the subject of swapping.
Okay, right, you've
There
got to do my outro then, go on.
Yeah, okay. So, Shed Boy here. I'm just amazing at all sim racing games, and quite frankly, I should have been racing today. So, Formula E, sign me up.
Oh yeah, the racing was peak. Love that shit.
Crikey, mate.
And I'm gonna, when I go out in my car tomorrow, I'm gonna give it some jandle.
Oh no, not Jandal. I'm not Kiwi.
This hat doesn't.
Jandal.
This hat doesn't fit on my head. So that's the end of the day. We're now sitting here in the hospitality suite after I tried to get some ice cream but was cruelly denied by the ice cream machine. And that kind of sets the tone, I guess, for the day, for me personally. I mean, it's always great being at a racing event, just the atmosphere and the noise and how passionate all the fans are. But between having a helmet that didn't fit on my head, having a tough time getting here in the first place, having issues with Steve in the pit lane and his radio, being denied ice cream, not being able to get to actually watch the race for a long time. There was a list of things. It just kind of, it didn't really complement the racing, which is a bit of a shame really. But in all seriousness, it's been a really fun day. It's always awesome getting to come to these events and actually get out of my shed. And to be at a point where I'm only meters away from Pascal Wehrlein and I can just smell his scent. It's, awesome opportunity, right? Got to say a massive thank you to the guys at Virtually Live for bringing me out here. Wouldn't be here without them, and I got my first taste of Formula E. But anyway, that's it from me here at Berlin. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, of course, hit that like button. If you really enjoyed, hit subscribe to be notified of future videos. And yeah, thank you to the patrons and sponsors. Take care, have an awesome day. See you next time.